Hi there, it's John from Commercial Real Estate Online. Welcome to the program. This is the podcast show for commercial real estate agents and brokers around the world, so welcome. In this program, I like to share tips, tools and ideas in brokerage, sales, leasing or property management, office, industrial or retail. So there's always things here for you to learn, to think about, to build into your real estate business. Now the website for us is commercial-realestate-training.com, and visit there to get all of the recent posts that we put out to help you with your brokerage activities. So that is commercial-realestate-training.com. And now in today's program, I'm going to be talking about one thing, and that is list management. When you do it correctly, you find more business more easily. So let's get on with the program, and I'll catch you at the other end. So let's have a look at your list management processes. The lists that you work with when it comes to creating clients, relationships, opportunities, potential new business over time. Your lists are very valuable. In fact, if you are trying to achieve some momentum in brokerage, it's time to start from one thing, and that is your lists. And if you haven't got a list, you start to create a list. The list of people that you know, talk to, what was said in the conversation, and of course some sort of progress mechanism so you have a pipeline of conversations into the future. That is called list management. Indeed, that is a blueprint for you to get anywhere in brokerage. So thinking about your career, your prospect list is the only thing that really matters in your business model. It is the foundation of everything else that follows. Nothing else is as essential to what you are doing and where you are headed. Your list of people, the new people that you are talking to, those that you haven't spoken to, and those that you already know. Are you ready to build your list, your business? Then it's time to get organized in some form of list building strategy, indeed, a blueprint. If growth is your target in this brokerage year and into the next few years, look at your client and prospect lists. Look at your prospecting, canvassing process. Then lift the engagement strategy and the strategy within each group of people, perhaps landlords, investors, tenants, business owners. And you can have a separate list for each. Of course, you can have a spreadsheet to get started. You will have your database there as well. But when you talk to a lot of people, you need some sort of churn device to keep conversations under control before people reach your database. Because your database should be reserved for those people that are active in commercial real estate. So you need some form of list before that, the foundation list where you talk to people, create conversations, track those conversations before they turn into an opportunity. So is your list up to date? The more comprehensive and relevant your prospect list, the better your opportunities will be. Engagement with the plan is strategy number one in your diary every day. That is talking to people. Attention and focus. It's all about talking to new people that you can put into your list. Conversations create new business and leads over time. So strive to achieve more conversations each day, some with the people that you know, some with the people that you have not spoken to before. That is how you create change and churn opportunities. That is list management, the list management blueprint. So opportunities are many things to all of us in brokerage. Sales or leasing, perhaps property management. However, in commercial property sales and leasing, the list of options to work with is something like this. More business owners seeking to relocate or expand premises. More tenants looking to leave their current premises. Plenty of buyers seeking to purchase a new property in your area. More property owners wanting to invest. More investors seeking to change their property ownership or portfolio structure. More owner-occupiers seeking to start a business in a new location. And finally, an abundance of referral and repeat business. So those people and those circumstances should be in your lists. Now, your lists, as I said, in the first instance, given that you are talking to new people before they reach the level of a true, indeed, prospect in your database, before they get to that point, they are just people to talk to. So how are you going to track that? Well, use a spreadsheet or something like that. Perhaps use Microsoft Access if you've got it in your computer, because it is very powerful and simple, far more flexible and certainly powerful than a spreadsheet. And Microsoft Access, if you have it in your computer, then open it up and use one of the wizards to create the contact manager. Once you do that, then you start to enter your data into the contact manager, and when you are ready, you can transfer that data via a CSV file to whatever else program you may be using, software, etc., in your database. So the number of people on your list. Many agents ask me how many prospects they should have on their list. The answer is always relevant to your market and property speciality. Generally, the answer is more than 300 good quality prospects that are regularly contacted. Ideally, the number of contacts should be around 600 and over for every agent, perhaps even up to 1,000. Of course, that number takes time to build up. So let's look at that a bit further. Some agents have many more people in their database, but the word quality must be the filter on that fact. The agents that have too many contacts, let's say 2,000 or 3,000 or perhaps even more, it's probably the case that those contacts and the data around those contacts are not well maintained, are not up to date. Therefore, transactions are minimal from that list. The list is indeed old, too old. So the magic number of 2,000 and over is actually a redundant number and shouldn't be achieved by any agent if they're looking to create business over time. Focus on a smaller number, around 1,000. So that is where the difference applies with the number of people that you're talking to. You engage with people so they know you, remember you, and respect you, your professionalism as an agent as you engage with them. That is where the difference applies. Extensive lists are useless to any agent if they are not tuned and shaped into quality by regular calls, connections, and meetings. In other words, the data is up to date. That's why the number of 2,000 contacts is a waste of time. Extensive lists are useless. I'll repeat that for you. Now, beyond 600 contacts, the effectiveness becomes quite challenging because that is a large number of people. In fact, if you are maintaining a list of 600 people, you have to speak to 10 people per day from that list over a 90-day period and repeat the cycle each 90 days. That is how the data remains active, and of course the data remains consistent to the ongoing contact process to win the business at the right time. Ideally, you want the client or contact to remember you. That's all it's about. That's why 600 is a really good number. It's about 10 people per day from your list recontacted over and over again. Now, I will say this. Let's say you have 600 people in your list and you have this system underway. Some of those people will be removed from your list because they are simply not active anymore. They've moved on, retired, changed their circumstances. They're not willing to talk to you, whatever it is. Effectiveness is the focus. Effectiveness gets quite challenging, of course. That's why I've said that you should talk to 10 people per day over a 90-day cycle and then repeat it in an ongoing way. And as you do that, you remove some people from your list. So some people from the 600 get dropped off every day. And then you add more people, a few people per day to maintain the number around 600, perhaps getting up to 750, and if you're really clever, diligent and focused, maybe 1,000. But don't focus on any more than that because it is too challenging and the data will start to become redundant and old, and that's not what you want. So as a base calculation, 600 people contacted over a repeating contact cycle of 90 days will be 10 people per working day, Monday to Friday. Can you now see why realistic numbers really matter? I hope so, because this is indeed a formula for brokerage. Some people come and go from your list, so handle the change and churn with new people. Of those in the 600 that are not dealing with property anymore, you drop them out, and then you replace them with good new people. That is why you are always prospecting new people as well as others that you already know. Now, there are lots of low-quality prospect lists out there simply because of a lack of agent contact systems and processes at a personal level. Low-quality prospect lists. I've spoken to many agents who tell me they've got 2,000 or 3,000 people in their contact list. And of course, that is a lot of rubbish because that prospect list will be rubbish. They are not maintaining it. They're not staying on top of it. They haven't segmented it. They haven't spoken to those people regularly every 90 days. So top agents make their lists come alive by working on them profoundly and comprehensively. Can you see the step to that challenge? Can you see the steps to your foundational business, your database, your activity within that? So if you work a territory or zone, the number of people that I've mentioned is not hard to achieve. In fact, you can achieve 300 new people per working cycle of 90 days by making it a deliberate strategy to contact 5 new people each day. That's not hard to do. So you're achieving 5 new people per day to add to your existing list, and that adds 300 people every 90 days. And that takes care of the people that are falling off your list. So these 300 plus people for you are prospects that you can relate to, and they will know you well enough to take your call and perhaps even remember you when they need property assistance. And that's what you want. They will know you as the property expert and recognise you as the local property person that they need to go to when something is happening with sales, leasing or property management. So that says a strategy of relevance and local area coverage should be merged into your contact plan. So what about segmenting your lists? Some of those people will be VIPs or high-value prospects to you. Others will be ongoing clients that you can contact frequently. So setting the list categories for your business, it is a positive strategy. It's something you should do. Categorize people and property requirements. It's a big part of getting anywhere in our real estate game today. You can find the right people by location and property requirements. And when something good comes up, you know who to contact because you have segmented your lists. You know who to call. The base categories for creating a comprehensive database will be something like this: buyers, sellers, investors, business owners, franchisees, franchisors, developers. That's it. Maybe you can put some value on each of the people, the groups there. Maybe a pricing range, maybe up to 5 million, between 5 million and 10 million, that sort of thing. So the secondary information that you can use with each person would be timeframes, budgets to a price or rent, location, preferred property types, and improvements required. All of a sudden your list becomes very deep and meaningful to where you need to head in brokerage today. That then gives you the leverage to progress. So there is plenty to do and some research with those lists, research to get under control. As you talk to more people, all of the information you require for future property matching will evolve. Mix and match. That is the right way for creating ongoing business and transaction leads. And you cannot mix and match people and property situations unless you are talking to people, new people every day. So it's time to talk about list building. It is time to do more with your lists. There are only two ways to build a prospect list fast. Firstly, make cold calls daily and then get out into your territory to meet property owners and occupiers from the calls that you made earlier. As simple as these issues seem, they take some good research, personal work, and ongoing consistency. And perhaps the most important word there is consistency, because it is easy to drop away from the process and do something else each day, and that is wrong. If you are looking to thrive as a commercial real estate agent, consistency has to be in your diary, in your day, in your processes as you move ahead. So most agents and brokers do not do the things that I've mentioned here very well at all, simply because they get distracted or prefer to do other things. They are not focused enough. Now that is a substantial opportunity for other agents who want to be top agents over time, who want to drive the substantial market share into their business. Those people, those agents who are very consistent, persistent, professional, and direct in their prospecting activities each day, they can be entirely on top of their contact lists, their list management, their people, their properties. Indeed, their work practices are refined and improved each and every day. So discipline is a desirable factor or a skill in commercial real estate. Master the art of ongoing contact with people. That is where and how you can grow your real estate business a lot faster. Now set some list disciplines in place and certainly some directions. This then opens the door for the top agents and salespeople, those that have the discipline to make the calls and meet the people daily as part of that. Add a significant database or record-keeping system to this, and you have a reliable solution for building your commercial real estate business. So how many people should you try and talk to each day? Well, this is a formula I'll give you now, which is useful, and this can become a version of a formula for you. If you attempt to make 40 or 50 outbound calls per day over a 3-hour process, you'll reach maybe 18 to 20 people. From the 18 to 20 people that you talk to, maybe 5 to 10 will have some commercial real estate interest. From those 5 to 10 people, 2 or 3 of them might be ready for a meeting right now. So that then becomes a formula you can work to. You now have a reliable solution of numbers for building your commercial real estate business. Now, in saying all of this, you need a database software program, of course. Far too many salespeople spend too much time researching and selecting the right database program or software. Don't spend far too much time. Just get started. The factors indicate that you do not need a complex database system. You need just something to get started. The complexity can come later, and you can import your data into something else when you are ready. So it would help if you have something simple that you can easily use each day. Make sure that you can export your data whenever you want it, and do that for backing up as well. So exporting your data to another database of greater complexity, yes, you'll want to do that one day, and that is okay. But initially, you need maybe a spreadsheet, or as I mentioned earlier, you can use Microsoft Access, which many people have in their Microsoft suite of programs in their computer, but they don't know how to use it. Now, Microsoft Access is an extremely powerful and very useful database program. And if you have it, use it. Just use the wizard within the software program to create the contact manager. There is a contact manager database wizard in there that you can use to set up something very quickly and easily with very little knowledge about the software itself. So data security and flexibility, what do you do with that? Importantly, your first database should be simple enough so you can get the calls made and capture the facts of meetings and conversations as soon as possible. Now, when I'm talking about simple enough, I'm talking about entering the results of a conversation within 2 minutes of each conversation. So if you've got your computer in front of you with maybe 1 or 2 or 3 computer screens going, it's easy to enter the data and then move on. Eventually, get to the time where you want to move your database to a particular and more complicated software program that's better for you over the longer term. The ability to export data from the existing system will be critical. Many agents have been frustrated by this fact due to a lack of forward planning. So if you're thinking about getting deeply into your prospecting now, forward thinking, forward planning is required. Understand that the software that you are using, and maybe it's just a spreadsheet. If it's a spreadsheet, just use that. But make sure you understand that one day you've got to export that data from the columns within the spreadsheet into a database, and that's fine. You do that with a CSV file. Now, the final question to raise here is this. If you are entering data today into something, make sure you understand who owns your data. Where will that data go? Is it backed up in the cloud? And as a big question, what happens if you move on to another agency, brokerage? Who owns your data? Will you be able to take it with you? That is a really important question. Perhaps not a big question for you today, but someday it will be an important question for you. So, when and before you start your database system, ensure that the program or method you use lets you export your data in some standard form to other programs for the time that you need to do it. Excel spreadsheets or CSV files are the best way to convert and convey data. When in doubt, seek expert help about that. Forward thinking, forward planning will help you now with your growth of your database list. And that is indeed the list management blueprint. I've given you a lot of numbers here today. I've given you processes to think about, special processes to drop into your real estate activities. So think about the people in your location that you can talk to. Get your lists underway. Recognize that not everybody will want to talk to you. That is just fine. Understand some people will have a future property interest or need. That is good. And when you talk to people like that, you need to track the process. Now, who are these people? I'll recap now for you. Investors, business owners, property owners, developers, franchise groups, franchise tenants. They are the people to put in your lists, and perhaps you create a separate list for each. From this list management blueprint, start your calls, get very involved with the telephone each day, and over time you will win the business, the leads, the contacts, the activities that you really want. Enjoy the momentum. And so that was the program for today. Of course, it was all about that all-important topic of list management. When you manage your list well, you find the business. And in this new property cycle, that is a very important thing that you can do with your real estate activities each day. Find the business, find the people, find the transactions, and of course, promote yourself comprehensively in the local area or across your property type. So don't forget to visit the website at commercial-real-estate-training.com. And whilst you're there, subscribe, because we are going to share these notes with our community online through the email system. And we do that each week. So enjoy the ideas. I'll catch you in the next program. This is John Hyman signing off for now. Catch you soon.